And we got us with us right now, Congressman-elect Ronaldo Madrigal, and welcome to the show. And we had you on here before, and it was a pleasure talking about your campaign. And
first of all, I want to thank you for allowing me to be on your program. I had to find my way over here. You know, it's been a while since I've been here, and I was fortunate enough to remember where you live.
I know. I was like, showed up and like, oh, he's back. Okay, let's do this again.
Yeah. But this time I'm running for Congress. The last time I was running for governor of the state of Texas.
Did I say governor again?
Yeah. No, you said Congress. Yeah.
Okay. Good. Okay, we're good to go. So now I'm trying to think. Let me go over some of your background again, because I know we covered this during the last interview. Yeah. You may have new voters and you might have new viewers. So I think we need to kind of get your background information again, just so they know. So can you go over some of the things?
Well, my name's Reynaldo, but they call me Rey Madrigal. And I live in Corpus Christi. I've lived in Corpus Christi all my life. And I've run for several positions. The last one was governor of the state of Texas. And now I'm running for the congressional seat of the 27th congressional seat, which is composed of 14 counties. 14 counties from Nueces County going north. The district used to be going south, but now they changed it to north, all the way up to Wharton County, close to Houston, and to, Bastrop County, up there by Austin, and Gonzales County and DeWitt County, close to San Antonio. So it's a big area. It's 14 counties. But I tell people, look, if I ran in the whole state of Texas, which was 254 counties, I've been there in these 14 counties, and I'm very familiar with two of them. Two of them being Nueces County, because that's where I live, and Calhoun County. Calhoun County was where I was the judge of Seadrift, Texas. A very nice community, very nice people over there. So I have some knowledge of the district that I'm running in.
And okay, I think you just mentioned you're a former judge, also graduate from the U.S. Army. Were you a enlisted officer?
No. It's a regular volunteer.
Volunteer enlisted. Okay, good. Of course, my family too. We're all kind of military as well, so it's kind of a unique perspective. It's nice to have somebody who has been in, so they realize some of the issues with veterans.
I usually like to tell a little story real quick. That my friend wanted to go into the military, but he didn't want to go by himself. He invited me to just tag along, you know. And the recruiting officer was a real smart guy. He said, "I'll give you guys a weekend, all expenses paid in San Antonio." Oh yeah, okay, we'll go. And we went over there, and they divide you, you know, A to M in one direction, M to Z in the other direction. So his was an R and I was an M, so we went in different directions. By the time I came back, I had already been sworn in, and he had not passed the exam, the physical. He was the one that wanted to go, and he didn't pass the exam. So well, it's turns in life that change your life, you know, because a lot of the people that I used to hang out with were not the regular good guys, but I'm glad I went into the service, and it changed my life a whole lot.
Yeah, it also says here you served on many boards, commissions. Can you maybe go over some of
Yes,
those?
in Corpus Christi, because that's where I live, I've served in the Ethics Commission, the Traffic Advisory Commission, the Sister City Commission, and I've also served in the county, in the Nueces County Dispute Resolution Center, where we take up any problem between two people in the county, and we try to resolve it. I can tell you with my experience, I was able to resolve a lot of problems that arose that people needed help. And I tell one instance in Corpus Christi where the two neighbors, and one's cutting the yard and puts out the trash by the road, so they'll take it up. And the other neighbor didn't like it because it went a little bit over to his yard. He said, "Hey man, why are you putting your trash in my yard?" "Oh, we'll just move it over here. I'm sorry, But the neighbor was really mad. He was upset. He went inside the house and brought a gun and shot the other guy, killed him. So here we have a problem. Two families without parents because one is dead and the other one is in prison. That creates a problem for the whole community. Somebody's got to take up the slack. So I tell people, if you got a problem, try to resolve it. Go to the Dispute Resolution Center. They're free. They don't charge you a penny. They'll help you out to resolve the problems. So that was a very important commission that I was in, and I'm glad that I served several years in that position. But I have a little experience here, a little experience there, and whatever. I tell people, look, the streets of Corpus Christi, wow. we need some help there. And I don't know why, but I think that there is some financial assistance at the federal level for some of the streets of Corpus Christi that we can try to get to resolve that problem, because that's a big problem. Everybody in Corpus knows it.
Well, do you have perhaps some ideas, or is it too early to really go into what can be done? Of course, it probably takes several steps to maybe to get the streets.
It'll take a while, but I think under my leadership that we can try to resolve as much as we can, and I think it's possible. I really think it's possible. Somebody had just dropped the ball for a bunch of years there and not worked on the streets.
Yeah, apparently. That's not the first time I've seen that happen. Somebody dropped the ball on that. Okay, let's go into some of the key points of your campaign that you seem to be focusing on, and one is immigration. And I noticed you on the last interview you mentioned that as well. And there's some issues with perhaps some people, they're worried about getting deported. Of course, it may break up families and other things. Could you go into that?
Well, being so close to the border, there is a lot of people that come in from the southern border of the United States, and some of them might be illegal immigrants. Others come into the United States, and the women have their children here in the United States, where the Constitution, I think 14th Amendment, says if you're born in the United States, you're automatically a U.S. citizen. So here we have the situation, a baby that's a U.S. citizen, the parents are illegal immigrants, so what do you do? The government has allowed, to a certain point, that the parents of the baby can stay, and so they can take care of the baby. But on this presidential campaign, they're saying we want to take a second look at that situation, where maybe that baby is not actually a legal resident of the United States. I just saw it on the Sunday paper, where they're starting to deny the birth certificates to the babies born in the United States. So the parents can't get a birth certificate. They have to go back to Mexico, and the kid is in limbo because being born in the United States, the Constitution says you're born here and you're an American citizen, but yet they want to deport the whole family, and let's see what happens. I think it's going to depend on the presidential election as to how this works out. And being a congressman, I would have an opportunity to vote on how the process would work. We want to make sure that it's humanitarian, that the parents have an opportunity to stay with the baby. So we're going to see how that develops in the future. And the other thing about deportation, history is very important. It showed in the 30s and 40s where people from Mexico that were living in the Los Angeles area, and the immigration officials would wait outside the church. On Sundays, they would wait outside the church to round them up and deport them back to Mexico. A lot of them never came back to the United States, but I thought that was kind of not the right thing to do, you know. People go to church to pray to God and do what they have to do, and then when you come out of church, you get arrested and deported. I'm sure that there's a lot of other times, that a lot of other places that this can take place instead of, you know, coming out of church. So there's one candidate in particular that's very strong on immigration that wants to say, okay, you're an illegal immigrant, we're going to deport you back to the country you came from. But what people don't realize, it's not only people from Mexico and South America and Central America. There's people from all over the world that come here, sometimes on a tourist visa, and they overstay their visas and never go back to their country. There's students that come to study at our universities and overstay their student visas and never go back to their country. All those people are subject to the same rule as you're an illegal immigrant in our country. So it's not only for Hispanics, it could be for anybody that came in and overstayed their welcome. So, and I'm sure there's lists of people that have come over here to study and visit or whatever and stayed. So everybody is subject to that rule. It reminds me of the rule for it involved drugs, where it was 100%. If they caught you with drug, you were out, you know. But until it affected some congressmen's sons and daughters, then they took a second look and said, well, this ain't working so well, you know. they found a marijuana cigarette on a yacht, $1 million yacht. And they confiscated the yacht. So they didn't like that. So they changed the rules. So rules sometimes don't apply to everybody. Sometimes are made to be changed. So we have to wait and see what needs to be done. But one thing that I've really been emphasizing is, if you're not registered to vote, now is the time to register to vote, because this is a very, very important election coming up, 2016, and I've been around for a while. I've seen strange things happen through politics, and I tell people, look, if you're not registered to vote, you don't count. You don't count. In nobody's book, you don't count. So I urge people to register to vote, because this is going to be a very important election coming up in 2016. And it's getting very close, because we have November the 14th of this year already, in about 2 or 3 more weeks, is the first day to file for any position that you want to run in 2016. And I want to file on the first day, because I'm using a different process on this election. I am using the petition to put my name on the ballot in the Democratic Party. I have to get 500 signatures. I already have 562. You got to assure yourself a little bit that you have enough signatures. So I got 562, and I hope to go on Saturday, November the 14th, to Austin, Texas, and file my name as a candidate for the 27th Congressional District. And we'll go from there. I've been to the it's a Texas Democratic Party headquarters in Austin, and they're there to help. To them, it's I guess the more candidates, the better for everybody, because we have an election in the process, and I'm all excited. I'm all excited about it, because it's an opportunity to go to Washington. Yesterday I saw Hillary Clinton at the hearings on the Benghazi situation. As a congressman, you never know what committee you're going to be appointed to. The next thing, you might see Rey Madrigal in some committee that's of real importance to the whole nation, because at the federal level you vote on situations that affect the whole nation. And I tell people, look, I've raised my hand when I first was enlisted in the military. That was in 1960. I raised my hand when I became the judge of Seadrift, Texas, to uphold the laws and the Constitution. And now I hope for the third time, God willing, and if you support me, to raise my hand again to uphold the laws and the Constitution of the United States. So I'm asking for your help on this time around.
Okay, it's interesting about not only, even though you're a congressman doing things locally, you still affect on the national level. Let me go real quickly back to immigration, because I wanted to ask you something real quick. I know it's hard because obviously you have the Republican and Democrat side, and usually they'll try to pass something and then it'll be, not passed by the other party. Is there some way where you can have a compromise to at least pass something?
I have always been able to work with people because through my businesses, I had to work with all kinds of people. And I believe in compromises, and I believe that you can get something done by working together. And I have no problem with that and working with the other party, because I tell people, look, one time through our program called the Coffee Club, we invited the governor of Texas to come to the coffee club. And I've always been a Democrat, and I have no problem telling people about it. There's people that are, I don't know if they're called redneck Democrats or redneck Republicans or whatever, but I tell people, look, together we can accomplish things. And I tell people, look, the governor of Texas was George Bush, and everybody knew he was running for president. And we invited him to come to the coffee club, and I upset a lot of people because they said, what are you doing? You didn't follow protocol. You should have consulted with us about inviting the governor. What is there to consult? I just want to invite him to come and talk to the people. We're all his constituents, and he's the governor of everybody, Democrat and Republican. And he came and spoke to us. We had not sellout crowd because we weren't selling tickets, but we have standing room only at Rosita's restaurant. And it was broadcast live for the first time. The public access had a vehicle equipped with all the cameras and transmitters and whatever. They had never used it. So so I go over there and I tell him, hey Bob, I want to use the truck so you can transmit it live. He said, what? Yeah. Over here in this paper says that it's available to everybody, so I want you to make it available to the coffee club. And sure enough, he did, and we transmitted it live. And everything turned out good, except for some people that were disappointed, because we had a member. He became member of the coffee club. George Bush became member of the coffee club. And the guy that was running, and the Democratic Party was a member of the coffee club also. But he had been invited a couple of weeks before, and then we invited George Bush. And he was there, the Democrat was there the day George Bush came to speak at the coffee club. And after he spoke, my friend, the late Mike Cepeda, came over and pulled on my jacket and says, Ray, so-and-so is here, and he wants to speak also. I said, well, he's a member of the coffee club, so we let him speak. And he also spoke to the coffee club, but George Bush had already left. He went over to my studio, which was right next door to the restaurant, and he had a press conference there at the studio, Ray's photo studio, and everything worked out all right. So I have no problem with working with people, and I enjoy that.
Okay, also going on some of your key points for your campaign, also you mentioned armed conflicts. You're trying to want to go away from things like that.
Oh, armed conflicts. Yeah. When George Bush was governor, somebody came and said, okay, there's Saddam Hussein, and he has weapons of mass destruction and what have you, and everybody was all excited. Even Democrats and Republicans both were for going to war. And I was not too sure of the situation because there was always that doubt about weapons of mass destruction. We went to war our troops went in there, and a lot of our young people got killed. And then it turns out there was no weapons of mass destruction. Nowhere. Weapons of mass destruction. So it was a complete falsehood that there was weapons of mass destruction. I don't know, it just seems senseless that all these young men and women died because of somebody saying there was weapons of mass destruction.
And, okay, also we're going to talk about some of the things you're doing for your campaign, fundraisers in your local area, places that you're going to be campaigning next.
We just had a fundraising barbecue at Julian's Barbecue on Baldwin Street, and it was a complete success. We had a lot of people there. We even had karaoke entertainment, and it turned out real good, real good. I also have a friend in Calhoun County, which is Por La Vaca, Richard Martinez. And I went and spoke over there at a party he was holding, and I got a lot of signatures for the petition, a lot of signatures from Por La Vaca and Victoria. So things are looking real good. Things are looking real good. And I also went to Rockport with my friend Rudy Nava. Rudy Nava used to be the county commissioner there in Rockport, and in Aransas Pass, Lupe Torres. Aransas Pass is not too far from here, and he's been helping me out, and I really appreciate some of the people that I've known for many, many years that are coming out and saying, Ray, we want you to win this one. We're here to help you, and I want to thank you for helping me out on this campaign.
Oh, sure. Could you tell us, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Can you tell us anywhere if people are looking to contact you, any websites, phone numbers, email?
I got rayglo64@yahoo.com.
Okay.
And my phone number is 813-4035. I like to talk on the phone. you get that feeling of personal communication, yeah. So I can be reached at any time. I carry two phones. One is the company phone, and the other one is my personal phone that I can be reached at. And I've gotten in the habit of always carrying them with me. Even when I'm asleep, you know, they're right next to my bed. In case they ring, I'll pick it up. So yes, you can call me at any time, and I would appreciate whatever help or ideas you might have for this campaign. I want to thank you.
Yes. And I appreciate Ray for coming to talk to us today on today's show, New Spot. And that's Ronaldo Madrigal for U.S. Congressman, District number 27.
Can I say something in Spanish?
Okay, go ahead.
Para los votantes del Distrito 27, quiero decirles que soy el candidato para esta posición congresista para ir a Washington, D.C. Les agradezco su apoyo, su voto, y estoy corriendo en 14 condados. Mucha gente no sabe qué son los condados porque apenas cambió. The district just changed recently. So estoy en el condado de Aransas Pass, Bastrap, Caldwell, Calhoun que es Por La Vaca, y ahí donde trabajaba yo en Seadrift como juez, Gonzales County, Jackson County, La Vaca County, Maragorda, Nueces, Refugio, San Patricio, which is here, and Victoria, and Warden. Warden is close to Houston, Texas. So in all those counties, I'll be running, and I'll be campaigning throughout the next 3 months in those areas.
Okay, and I'm sure we may see some of your followers may get to meet you on the trail,
I think so. So, gracias, and los miramos en la campaña. Thank you.